Okay. Hi, my name is Sophie Torres, and I'm from New York City. For my entire life, I have always been a city girl. I have always enjoyed the large, bustling crowds and the freedom that cities offer me. Although going to places like Maine, where there isn't a house every 3 feet, is nice and beautiful, I know that I will always go back to sprawling metropolises like New York City. However, there are many downsides to living in a city. And one of them that stands out to me is catcalling. I'm not saying that catcalling doesn't happen outside of cities. I know it does. But I bet you that people get whistled at more often in New York City than some rural part of the country. I can tell you that as a female living in New York City, I get catcalled at least once every day. I've been whistled at, clicked at, told to smile, and that I should come on over. Sometimes when I walk away, which is always my first reaction, I get called a bitch or a slut because I did not thank them. I cannot count the amount of times I've been yelled at because I have not thanked my harasser. Not only have I felt dehumanized, I have started to take a roundabout route to school in order to avoid the construction site where I almost always get harassed. The reason I have not spoken up until now is because I was afraid. I was afraid that if I said something, the guy catcalling me would get angry and do something awful. The scary part is that these fears are justified. There have been many incidents all over the world where women have been wounded, raped, or killed because they responded negatively to street harassment. For example, a girl only a year younger than I was walking on the streets in Florida when a man pulled up next to her. He offered her $200 to have sex with him, and she obviously said no. What this man decided to do was drag her by her hair into his car, choke her until she passed out. He then tossed her out of the car and then proceeded to run over her with his car several times. Thankfully, she survived and was taken to a hospital to get medical treatment and was able to ID this man and convict him for attempted murder, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, and false imprisonment. Some of you might think, this man was crazy. How can you put this into the same category as street harassment? This is because this man did the same thing that many catcallers do. He interacted with a woman that he did not know in a deeply disrespectful way and decided that he had the right to tell her what he thought and what he wanted her to do. This, in principle, is the same as the men who say smile, want a ride, and nice ass. Although this girl's case was extreme, this only emphasizes the atrocity that is street harassment. Now, I recognize that my frankness may make some of you feel uncomfortable. This is not an easy topic to talk about. And the unnerving part is that this sort of thing happens to women every single day. All of those comments that you've heard me say, that women's experience, they are not uncommon. How can anyone be comfortable with this fact? I can promise you that I am not. But sometimes in order to fix the multitude of faults in this world, you have to get uncomfortable. Fixing something is never painless, otherwise someone else would have done it. I am ready to get into the uncomfortable to address this issue. Just by being away from catcallers, I was able to fully see the hold it had on my life. I have always disliked catcalling, but I never truly understood how great it would be not to be subjugated to it constantly. I don't have to plan out in my head whether or not to go past the construction site on the way to school, or whether or not my outfit will solicit comments from shady men on the street. Never at CSG have I had to hold my head down and walk away quickly while someone screams obscene things at me and about my body. Because I had experienced this almost every day, it started to feel like a daily routine. I knew that it was bad and that it should not happen, but it started to feel like there was nothing I could do about it. I just assumed this was how life worked, that there will always be a bunch of older men calling at me, and I did not think that there was anything I could do about it. It was so sewn deeply into our society that I did not think I had the strength to unravel it. I also thought that the best thing I could do was to ignore it. As a child, when someone annoys you or pesters you ceaselessly, you are told to just ignore it. That they will continue or get worse if you give them the satisfaction of reacting. But this could also be the reason that catcalling has continued. One of the reasons it could be continuing is because no one has reacted and told them how they actually feel about being treated this way. While I have been here at CSG, I have been taught to take action instead of standing on the side, watching others fight for me. I have always had the confidence to stand up for myself, but CSG helped me realize this. While here, I have been able to bulldoze the walls that kept me docile and compliant. I am now ready to change the world. I have decided that once I get home, I am going to retort to their comments. I am going to say that I am not there for their entertainment. I did not ask for their opinion, and my name is not Baby. I did not dress up for them. I did not dress up for anyone, except for me. I am not a dog that they can whistle at. I am a human, and even better, I am a woman. Their comments are not compliments, and no, they do not make my day when I hear them. In fact, they do the exact opposite. I do not need a man's comments to make me feel good about myself. I am more than just my body parts. I am an intellectual, I am strong, and I am more than they can see. I will help educate the people around me about catcalling and what it truly is, not a compliment, but a harassment. I find that the most powerful way to bring awareness to others is through art. Art is a universal language that can easily convey feelings and ideas. This is why, in addition to my speech, I decided to add an art component. The drawing shown here depicts a woman smashing the word slut below her with a giant hammer. When I originally started this drawing, I had her standing while the words thrown at her slowly crumbled around her. I liked the thought of the words not having an effect on her, but I disliked that she was not taking any action. I thought that this could perpetuate the idea that doing nothing about this issue would result in its going away. So instead of her standing, I decided to show her swinging a hammer. I typically work in black and white mediums, so when I do use colors, I put very careful thought into each one. The aura surrounding her is yellow, representing power and fierceness. In order to get what she wants, what she needs, she has to be powerful, and that is why I chose yellow. If you notice, the aura around her gets darker around the word slut. This is also because I have recognized the word slut as a corrupting word. It has become a norm in our society to call someone a slut, and people are taught that to use this word is okay. Even this woman is not perfect. She sometimes think that word or uses that word, but she recognizes that this is wrong. As my photography teacher says, the first thought is what you have been conditioned to think, and the second is who you are. The reason her shirt is green is because it is my mom's favorite color. My mom has been such an inspiration to my life and such a strong role model. I would not have gotten to where I am without her. Finally, I use my chronicle as the canvas because of all the wonderful people at CSG. I will always remember the strength that each person, student and staff alike, has given me. Without their undying support and love, I would not have the passion that I do now.